California.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, all of you all, for coming today. There's so much to say, but I have such a limited time, and I actually have a question. But we'll also want to refer back historically. We've been having these conversations for quite some time. Ms. Gross, do you recall in 2000, and I believe it was 2009, the Castor Simayenya case?
Correct, yes.
Could you tell folks a little bit about this case? I have some document on it too, but could you give me a little background?
This was an Olympic sprinter, and there were all sorts of assumptions that she was not a woman, and she was subject to all sorts of invasive tests, but also bullying and harassment because she was assumed to be not feminine enough for the sport, basically.
Yeah, so, this case, she was a black woman, and she was
South African, I think, yeah.
South African black, and she was assumed to be too fast, too big, and of course she was asked to undergo testosterone testing and medical treatment to reverse her natural testosterone that was in her body, but she was born female.
That's correct.
So I just want to make it clear where we are. On March 25th, in this very room, my colleague, Ms. Presley, she introduced an amendment to this body. And the amendment was pretty clear, and it said, it requested that this body vote down anything, any mention of any policy that would ban racism, that would push forth any clarity around us insinuating as a full body that the Trump administration, when he moved executive orders, that they wouldn't mention or allude to any kind of segregation. My colleagues on the right voted that amendment down, every single one of them. So even if you're not transgender, folks who are watching, I want you to understand why this moment is so important. We have a party who has been very clear about what their intentions are for this country. Very clear about what their intentions are for this country. I think it's bringing us back to a 1950s America where segregation was legal. Who is to say that your African-American daughter, because of her BMI, will be subject to the same kind of conversation? Who is to say, if we move forth in this conversation, that your daughter, who was born a female, would be subjugated, and subject, I should say, to inspection of her genitals when she went up to the mount to play t-ball because she looked a little bit different from other folk? There's a slippery slope here. I definitely want to talk about race, fraud, and abuse in the 119th Congress. It's important. And it's also important for us to realize that the cruelty of not centering all Americans, how difficult that is, but it is ingrained in who we are to figure out how we love and support and not pathologize anyone. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. Ms. Gross, I wanted to give you an opportunity, while my time is limited, to share anything else about really what we're seeing here and how the slippery slope can maybe go a little bit farther and more horrific than it already is.
Well, I'd say it's already happening. We're already seeing girls being challenged for not being feminine enough, for being too tall, too fast, too good at what they do, by other parents, by school officials. Discrimination never begins and ends with the small group of people who are initially targeted. It will extend and harm all girls.
Thank you so much, and I yield my time, Madam Chair.